Here are some of the threats that the members of this board received after our last meeting. You stupid c***. You best remove those books from the library like ASAP. Dumb you are, all of you are brainwashed, perhaps too many vaccines. This is an email that a fellow board member received on December 23rd. The subject is Satan. You are a piece of shit, and you know that. You sold your soul to Satan. I hope one of those parents kicks the shit out of you. I bet your liberal dumbasses. Stay away from vaccines. It's quite obvious it has warped your brains. Burn in hell.
Members of the Board of Education are getting threatening messages from MAGA cultists, and apart from how horrible and hateful the messages are, they're preventing board members from doing their actual jobs. I'm Yasmin Khan with the breakdown, and adults acting badly, especially in this case, do nothing for the children that they proclaim to care so much about. But I'm not going to lay out the obvious hypocrisy of the worst of MAGA, the Christian nationalists who keep saying that they want to save the children despite not doing much of anything to actually help children, the people who gatekeep Jesus while being absolutely horrible and hateful to others, and the people who insist that the left is intolerant because the left does not tolerate those who are hateful and horrible to others. And yes, you can point to comment sections for examples of leftists and Democrats being less than savory towards those on the right. You can bring up examples of leftists making fun of those who are still in the MAGA cult. You can even point fingers at leftists who aren't perfectly loving all the time, because leftists are in fact people. But leftists typically don't send letters to board members with misogynistic, homophobic, or racist slurs in them, nor do they threaten to do the things being threatened in this video, things that I will not repeat here. The radical left, as progressives are often called, is not the same as the radical MAGA right. There is anger in our hearts, yes, because we see injustice and we don't like it. There is fear about what our planet and society will look like in the coming years, but that anger and that fear are born from a place of genuine concern for others. However, I imagine that you could say the same for those on the right, specifically those who have succumbed to the cult-like mentality of MAGA and QAnon. If you read threads and comment sections, or especially if you speak to actual people, you see that many of them actually believe that, for example, the left is godless and we are all going to hell. Many of them got roped into all of this in the first place because they honestly believed that the mission of QAnon was to protect and save children from people who wish to do them harm. And that's certainly a noble and compassionate cause, and I don't think anyone would argue with that. Unfortunately, that hook is just a hook, a hefty hook that drags people from their place of sanity and connection with the world and reels them into a much smaller bucket of isolationism and paranoia. Others become rabid anti-vaxxers because they started out just wanting to eat healthier and be more conscious of the food they put into their bodies. Fine. Next thing you know, you're paranoid about eating non-organic versus organic. Then you can't trust the organic label and you don't even know what a GMO is, so you start your own garden. You start to look at people who shop at the grocery store and you think that they're ignorant for doing so. Now you're obsessing over air quality and wondering what's in the air that you have to breathe every day. Then you wonder what's being put into the air, and by who, and to what end. And so it goes from there until you're practically afraid of everything. And fear can be infuriating because it leaves you feeling overwhelmed and helpless. Obviously, many of these MAGA people are simply hateful people who want to see bad things happen to people they don't like. And when I say bad things, I don't mean they want to see criminals held accountable for their crimes, not those types of bad things. They want to see literal violence against people they don't like or understand. I think I can honestly say that I've never wished for violence against anyone. I think the most I've ever wished was for someone to just go away and not be my problem anymore. But violence, these are the same people who think mental health care is for snowflakes. And the worst part of all of this is what the board members said at the end of the video. They can't do their actual jobs anymore because they have to deal with these threatening messages instead. An entire generation of school-aged children is having its developmental education hijacked by bigots in the name of Jesus, Trump, and whoever Q is. And it's not fair to them. All right, that's it for me. If you got anything out of this, please like and subscribe, and be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok.